So, hi everyone, this is my friend Kate, and Kate does not know that I spent the last week digging around the internet for everything that I could find about her.
I'm sorry, what?
To do a little interview.
Oh, fun.
So,
Okay.
first question, what's the worst thing that I could have found? And while you think that, we're also going to be playing Smash Bros. Because, you know, interviews are better when the other person cannot fully concentrate on what they're saying or what they're doing.
Oh, lovely. Okay,
So
let's go.
that is what we're doing. You can click play and then, you know.
Do you want? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
There's just fear in my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. So do I start to answer the question?
Yeah, like, what's the worst thing? Oh god, I haven't played this in ages. What's the worst thing that I could have found on the internet about you?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, a few years ago, I would make YouTube videos, as I'm sure you found.
I did find that, yeah.
Yeah. And because they were so old, and I was barely learning how to like record and edit and stuff, they're pretty egregious. They're really bad. So maybe you found like some awkward footage.
They are not that bad.
Thank you. But that'd probably be my guess, somewhere in like the YouTube realm. You could have also found my alt Twitter account.
I did not find that. That's interesting. I will be looking for that later. Now, I'll tell you what surprised me the most about what I found.
Okay.
You did streams for Adobe.
No, you didn't find those, did you really?
I mean, that's like one of the first things that show up when someone searches for your name, by the way.
No.
I don't know if you know that.
So I do know that. I just pray that no one ever clicks on them.
And you actually wrote Medium articles about those streams.
Okay.
How did that happen? Because it's not for like I mean, I remember when Adobe XD came out.
Uh-huh.
And like, I don't feel like it ever was like a well-known Adobe program.
Adobe XD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, how did that happen?
So, funny story. This was actually at the very, towards the beginning of my design career. And Adobe XD had like just come out. And at the time I was really into animating. And I just wanted to like, honestly test the limits of Adobe XD. And I sought out to break it. I'm like, I want to see like how I can break this thing and how far I can go. And so I did this really long like animated GIF that was like really, I don't think, it just really pushed what Adobe XD was meant to be like built for. And I shared it on Twitter, and then one of Adobe's evangelists, who is now one of my dear close friends, Howard Pinsky, shout out, he found it on Twitter and like retweeted it, and he like DM'd me, he's like, wow, like this is so cool. And so that kind of like got me known in the Adobe community. And then from there, people wanted to see like more animations for me and stuff in XD. And I think from there, I went to a conference. I went to Adobe, what is their yearly conference? I don't even remember. I went to their yearly conference and met Howard in person, and then he's like, yeah, like I've been seeing the progress you've been doing over the last few months. Do you want to like stream with us? I'm like, yeah.
And before this, you hadn't really done any like kind of any streams or anything?
No, never, not once.
So this was your first experience at the Adobe office?
Yes, here in San Francisco. That was my first time ever in San Francisco too. Come here. God damn it. You can't detonate it. It doesn't matter if you throw me over there. I don't think there's a time limit on those. Damn it, there is. No. I don't even remember what your question was anymore.
So the Adobe stuff.
Yes.
After that, you started streaming more stuff.
I did.
I unfortunately wasn't able to find any of the streams.
Oh, lovely. That's good.
Like, you did a good job at like making those not exist anymore.
Yes.
You wrote on your article about how like, well, about like your journey of like getting comfortable in front of a camera and all of those things. And that's kind of like something that I've been trying to figure out as well. So like, how did you?
Not me. Oh, I'm back. Yes. No.
How did you end up figuring that out?
Oh, I didn't.
Like, I mean, you're very comfortable in front of the camera right now.
Oh, I'm blacked
Mostly because
out.
you have forgotten that it's there, but you know.
How did I get comfortable in front of a camera? So short answer, I'm not. But about 2 years ago, I got into YouTube again and I started recording. I did all of 2 videos. Those were my 2 contributions to YouTube. But those videos took a ton of recording and footage. And so over the span of like a week, I would just spend all day in front of a camera. And so I'm a little bit better now.
You posted a video with like all of the outtakes of a video.
I did, that's right.
Which is really interesting because when you're watching the final product, you don't really see like you just see the good takes and it looks very much effortless. And then there's like a whole 3 minutes, I think it was, of just like not like outtakes.
Right. What was so funny about that was I didn't have plans to do that video. And it all started because when I was editing the video, I'm like, this is so dumb. Like anyone that watches this video, they're gonna think like it's all polished and I'm just naturally like this, and I'm not. And so I just wanted to show more like behind the scenes of what it's actually like. And then I uploaded it and I got a few comments that were like, the line that you said 20 times over and over again was actually really good the first take. I'm like, oh shit, they're right. So it just like goes to show how much anxiety like we have about ourselves in filming when we're doing it.
Yeah, no, now that I've been like trying to get into video and stuff, I've been doing the thing where like trying to do the effort of posting it even if I think it sucks. And I found that like once you are like, okay, I'm not gonna record this again, I'm like rolling with whatever I have, you end up being like, actually it's not that bad.
It's not. And you recently, you just did that with the video you put out. It got a ton of traction on Twitter where you went around and you had all the fun.
The rest of them did not. And like, you know what's funny? At the time of posting that video, I mean, there were things that I didn't like about that video, but it was like, this is not bad. And now, I made that a third video. Like I'm in like week 2, but I did 3 because I really got into it the first week and I did both 2 of them. And after seeing the third video, I went back to like the first one and I was like, oh my God, this sucks so much.
That's how
but that means that it's getting better.
That's right. What's the most fun that you had recently when starting to make videos again? Was there a specific video that you liked making the most?
I mean, I think this one is probably on track to be like the most, oh, there you go. On track for being the most fun. Yeah. Just because mostly it's just been me like suffering in front of the camera. Oh, I can't kick it.
No.
Interesting. I mean, I did.
No, I was just saying, no, you can no longer kick it. I wish they could see my sign. That's actually pretty funny. So when you say that you think your favorite video is going to be this one, do I get to know the rest of this video? Because this is the first time I'm finding out that you did a deep dive of me on the internet. I
mean, like, no, the video is this. I'm just going to ask you questions like for a while, and that's the video. There's like not that much to it. I've been thinking for a while, like, podcasts and stuff are like nice, but you know, they're like not very entertaining to watch. Like you can listen to them, and people have started being like, oh, I'll put like a camera, but like you get nothing for watching it. You just like lose being able to do it while you're like doing chores or whatever.
Yeah.
However, like if you just put a video game in there, I feel like the conversation gets better. Depending on the game, maybe this is like requires too much focus, which is funnier but not optimal for conversation. But if you're playing something like Mario Kart that doesn't require like a ton of focus, it's just like, you know, you're talking, you kind of have to just like drive, so it's easy. Mm-hmm. I've seen people do it with like Power Wash Simulator or games like this that like don't require a ton of concentration. It's just like you have to press a button and look. It gets you into like this state of mind where like it's easier for you, like you're not focusing on the camera. It's like easier for you to talk as if you were talking to a friend.
Yeah.
So I want to try to do more of that, of just like getting people in front of a camera with a game. I'm seeing like if that ends up being better than just having a conversation without it. Because if I had just turned on the cameras and been like, okay, Kate, here's a bunch of questions.
I'd be so uncomfortable.
I feel like this is, I mean, I'm losing so hard because I need to talk and it's hard, but like, you know, this is more comfortable. Even if the end product is not as polished, we're not gonna do 20 takes of her questions anyway, so this is good. Second thing that I learned about you.
Oh boy.
You dropped out of college.
I did.
To do a boot camp for web development.
I did.
And then you ended up getting hired as a designer.
Yes, this is
How does
true.
that happen?
Well, short story. Sir, please stop. Short story is I was a developer for about a year after school, and one too many syntax errors. I'm like, bro, I can't do this anymore. I'm not cut out for this life. And so I instead became self-taught. And when you're in your early 20s and usually you're at like a university, you're traveling the world, you're partying, you're having fun, I was locked away in my room and I was like, I'm going to learn the Adobe suite. I'm going to learn, at the time there was no Figma, which was weird. But yeah, I just like honestly grinded for like a few years and then started doing freelance. And through the job where I got my job as a developer, yeah, it all just kind of like came together.
So was it like you were working as a developer and you were seeing the designers and you were like, they're having so much more fun, I want to do that?
It was a little bit of, so I like development.
Yeah.
What I don't like is the rigidity. Is that a word?
What do you mean by that?
I need more space to have creative freedom because when you're a developer, you're just implementing other people's designs. I'm like, I want
Well, not necessarily, but
well, at my
sometimes,
job
yeah.
at the time,
That
it
is
was.
true, yeah.
Yeah.
Like at a big company, it's like some people will design, some people will implement design. At smaller companies, you get to design your own thing, but that's like mostly, yeah, I get that.
And it was just a lot of like finding bugs, and it just wasn't like fulfilling to me.
I do feel like it's because like I started coding when I was 10 and I did like a little bit of design, but I was always centered around development. And when I started doing like the first creative thing, which for me was like video, I was like this is so much different in like a really good way. Like some people, like my girlfriend Anna, who is sitting over there. I don't have any cameras in there.
Hey, I was saying hi to Anna. You can't do that.
Miguel,
You can multitask.
you're mean.
So like it's like, oh, I don't like web development because, or like development because like you do need to have like patience. Sometimes like things don't work, and on design maybe you're like, oh, this doesn't look right, and you need to figure out why. But you don't have a moment of like nothing is showing up on screen, and you need to like look into the code for like 3 hours to figure out why, and it's like a really dumb mistake. You don't get those.
No.
Doing my first creative thing, like after just like a life of mostly doing code, like it felt very freeing. It felt very much like, oh, there's like endless possibilities here. So I kind of feel the rigidity thing, because with code, like most of the time it's like pursuing a path that you have chosen. And I feel like with design, you're at crossroads at every single thing that you do. Whereas with coding, you like pick a path and you mostly stick to it.
I think there's a lot to be said about the people that help us along the way too, because when I got my very first job as a designer, which was like, I think my title, not that I care much about titles, but my title at the time was like junior graphic designer. And for the company that I was interviewing at, I still like needed to make money. So I was still taking developer jobs and I was interviewing for like some front end dev position. And during my technical interview, I just like clammed up and I like fucked it up so bad. And then the person that was interviewing me like brought me aside and was like, look, like, yeah, that wasn't like a great interview, but I saw on your resume that you do like freelance design. Would you be interested in instead interviewing with the marketing department? And
That's really
long
cool.
story short, it panned out really, really well. But like, I definitely would not have gotten there unless someone like took a chance on me and really believed in me. So I now in my career, I try to do that for like other people, because like it really can like change someone's whole life by like just having faith in someone.
I definitely feel that. The reason I got into crypto was just like someone saw me on Twitter. I was like playing around with not even like code, just like Blender at the time. And they were like, hey, we're doing this like NFT thing. Do you want to like help out? And they added me to a group of like basically the most OG crypto people that you've ever seen. And then I just like, they all were extremely nice to me, answered so many questions that realistically I could have probably just like done research by myself. And through that single person just being like, like, hey, sure, I'll like add you to this like random group so you can help me make a 3D cabbage. I ended up getting my job. I ended up getting like all of my friends. I went to conferences. Like most of the people that I know online these days come from that. Also for Wallcoin, someone from Wallcoin coming to me like, hey, we know that like you work in a slightly different way as like the usual people. Like you don't do well with just like, here's a task, here's a week, do the task. Like maybe you're like less reliable, but then you like do more things. Like it's definitely like, I do things better than other people, but I do a bunch of the things that you would expect for a job worse than other people.
Like what?
Like being good at like not chasing a lot of side quests when I should be working.
Okay.
And so they like, when they were like trying to hire me, they were like, hey, like we know that you work this specific way and we're willing to like work this way with you. And I got this job that I love, and it was thanks to like them being like, yeah, we'll like compromise for you kind of. And so that's very true that there's times where it's like someone just like helps you.
I just realized you've been playing with the name Jay the whole time.
I don't know who Jay is.
Jay is one of my coworkers at Alchemy. Shout out Jay.
Oh yeah, Shadow Alchemy for I guess not arresting us after we stole the Switch from their office.
Yeah. Story there is, so Miguel texted me a week ago, or a little bit more than a week ago. I was like, hey, do you want to be in a video? All I need is like you to have your Switch and 2 controllers. And then like 3 days ago, I took a surprise trip down to San Diego, packed my Switch in my carry-on, being like, oh, I'm going to want to play my Switch on the plane. Forgot my Switch at security checkpoint, have still not received my Switch back. So I hope to God I can get my baby back. But then I had to text Miguel and be like, hey, bad news. I am Switchless, so Alchemy shout out for saving.
Switchless.
Alchemy, thank you for letting me borrow the office Switch.
Did you actually ask for permission or did you just take it?
I like to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
If I no longer work at Alchemy after this, you guys know why. I did get one of my coworkers' blessings to take it. We'll see if we'll see how it pans out.
I think it'll be fine.
2 days after this video comes out, hey guys, I'm looking for my next opportunity.
Yeah, if anyone has any designer jobs, email Kate at, message Kate. I was just thinking, like, right now as we're playing this, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna edit this thing. Because, like, how do you edit this?
Good luck. I think
It's gonna be fun. I will say, the fact that, like, you ended up taking the trip to San Diego and losing the Switch is actually ended up being good, because I was not planning to record a video in SF.
Really?
I mean, I was planning to record your video in SF. I wasn't planning to record any other videos in SF. And because I'm supposed to be doing a video a week, and I haven't published anything last week, but because I ended up recording it on Sunday, but I still did make a video yesterday that I will hopefully post tomorrow. So I ended up making an extra video, and I really liked how that came out.
Ooh.
So I think it's gonna be kind of like, that video has more like editing than usual. Because we actually, instead of just like recording me talking for 3 shots, which is what I've been doing, this one actually has like maybe 5 different B-roll shots. It's like closer to like a YouTube video, just like very shitty, because I don't have the quality to make like a YouTube video that I'm happy with and that I like. But it's like the closest that I've made since I started this that actually is a YouTube video. And so I wouldn't have done that if this had worked, so
Wow, my clumsiness panned out for once.
Yep.
I'm glad it all worked out. I was so nervous.
By the way, in case I like get flamed later, I usually I don't play Kirby. I play Sora, but this is not K-Switch, so he doesn't have it. So that's gonna be my excuse.
we have all of like 8 characters.
That's gonna be my excuse for why I'm doing so badly.
I will say the last time you visited SF, I took you to you visited the Alchemy office and we were playing the Switch, and you totally kicked my ass with.
So I want that on the record. I'm keeping this in.
Hey!
Here is another question.
Okay.
You have been for a long time known for doing Blender stuff.
Yes.
Like, it seems like you started like, oh, I'm gonna learn Blender, and then for a while you've been like the girl that does like cool Blender stuff. So like, how was the process of learning that? How did you decide to get into that? Like, talk a little bit about that.
Ooh, okay. So the only reason I learned Blender was because I was really bored in design. And okay, so it also requires a bit of backstory too, because before I was a developer, like back in, when I was trying to figure out like, what do I want to do with my life? It was always like, I wanted to go to school to make video games. Like that was always my life path. And then after I graduated high school, because I already decided I didn't want to go to traditional college, I went to a trade school and I like toured it, and I was like so stoked. I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to make games, it's gonna be great. And then they sat me down with my parents and they told me the tuition, and I'm like, can't afford that. And so then it became like a question of like, how can I make money, and like, where can I like still get to flex like a creative muscle while like being able to pay rent and stuff. And so I landed on development, front-end development, and then design. But because I wanted to start in video games, I felt like Blender for me was like that hobby that I could pick up that felt like I was closer to like what I initially wanted to do, because I was always interested in like character modeling for video games, or like making props or like bringing a world to life. And by immersing myself in that 3D environment, I just felt like I was getting to express myself and create in a means that was so much more interesting than just like a 2D playground in Figma or whatever design application I was using. And so, yeah, I just like got super into Blender and started making a ton of like abstract art, or I made like a few different nods to like my favorite video game consoles. So there's like a GameCube I made a few years ago that took me like probably like 2 months to make, but still is probably one of my favorites. So yeah, started 3D Blender because I was bored in traditional design and I wanted to like get back to my roots a little bit and just kind of pick something up as a fun hobby and like do something for the sake of learning instead of like, oh, let me do this thing to make money to pay rent, or oh, let me do this thing to like share on Twitter so I can like, I don't know, like share to a community and feel like I'm a part of something. Like it truly was just something for me to like have fun with and like lose myself with.
So when Kate video game?
When video games, are you said?
I mean, you have a job now. You have free time.
I don't know about that one.
At some
Maybe
point.
I can try to make more, yeah.
Like when video game?
It's funny you bring it up. It's still on my bucket list. I really would love to make like an indie game. You know, is it Bored Ape that made Stardew Valley? The developer that made Stardew Valley, who just like basically spent his whole life developing Stardew and it like took off.
I don't think that's scalable though. I feel like that's not the way that you make games. However, you definitely, if that's gonna motivate you to make games, then sure.
See, that's the thing that when I do things, I have to like basically dive so deep into it. Like yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I still would love to make a video game. It's up there for me on like
I
things
feel
that would
like
make me
you know
happy.
what you should do? There's this like, what's the name of this game? Game jams. Every once in a while where it's like, oh, you make a game on like a weekend. You have 3 days and you have to make a game.
Really? Wow.
They do this often. It's kind of like a little hackathon for games. It's like very like a big thing in like game dev. And so they like give you a topic, which is like not, it's ambiguous enough that you can make kind of anything. Like maybe the topic is like sweet stuff. That's like the entire topic. There's no, and then you make a game. And then maybe like thousands of people make a game those 3 days. And then by the end of the 3 days, I mean, there's like prizes or whatever, but mostly you've made a game. And also the scope is very much reduced because again, you have like 3 days. And obviously like some people team up or like some people might have more experience making games. But I find like similar to how I'm doing this with the videos where I'm like, I'm making one every week and they will not be good and I'll do it regardless. I feel like it's a good forcing function to be like, I can do this in a weekend and then like be done with it after the weekend. And I'm starting this on Friday, whatever happens by Sunday, there will be a game, even if the game sucks.
Yeah.
And I feel like after you do a bunch of these, you're probably gonna, you know, I feel like it's a better approach than just like putting all of your eggs in one basket and making Stardew Valley, like locked into the cave, no one sees Kate for 3 years, and then you just like come out with the coolest game ever.
I just tweet like, guys, I'm back, all lowercase. No explanation as to why I was gone. I really want to look that up though, because if I don't have some sort of structure like that, I definitely will like.
There's in itch.io has like a landing page for game jams, and there's pretty much one every like month at least.
Okay.
So I would recommend you look into that.
Maybe next time you see me, I'll be like, Miguel, I did one.
You definitely should.
And maybe that's the game that we can play if we ever do an interview again.
Yeah.
Little full circle moment. But then I'll be interviewing you.
That would be cool. Then
I
you'll
will
be
find
like,
everything
I
about
found
you."
all of the shitty things that you posted on the internet when you were like 13.
Oh gosh.
I mean, to be honest, I did not find anything like before college from you. I don't know if there is stuff, but I couldn't find it.
That means I did a very good job. Not that there was ever anything to hide, but there was me.
Sure.
Truly.
I mean, not that I had anything to hide either. I was just like, I would just be like, I feel like truly embarrassed, but like.
Yeah. I think the only like
there's on archive.org, there's like one of the first iterations of my personal website where like every kid that like wants to be a developer and makes always it does has like the most formal language of like I'm a multidisciplinary developer and designer, and it's so cringy looking back on that now.
Oh gosh. I mean, it's like a rite of passage, though. I think we've all been there.
Yeah, I just don't like that that's out there. That was in archive.org though, so there's like not much that I can do about that one.
Yeah. So you didn't find anything embarrassing?
I mean, I don't think I did. I think there are some stuff that if you looked at it, like your old Medium articles or the YouTube channel, you
yeah.
would look at this and you'd be like, oh, this is embarrassing. But like objectively, looking into it from my perspective, it is like it's not.
I'll take it. Nice.
Here's another question. When Lisbon?
When Lisbon? When I get passport.
When passport?
Undecided. So maybe we should tell the people.
Everyone that is watching this video, please go DM K at KKasab on Twitter and just tell her to get a passport like right now.
The backstory.
It's been years.
It has been it's probably been at least, what, 2 years?
Maybe. Since I met you.
Yeah. Yeah, the backstory there is Miguel wanted, because you've always wanted me to come to Lisbon, I think, right?
I just want to hang out with you. And I feel like I come here all the time. It's not fair.
Yeah, I know. I have to go there to hang out with you and Anna now. But yeah, I think, the one thing you got to know about me is I only do things for the bit or for a little treat. And so when Miguel told me to get a passport, I just like committed to the bit of never getting a passport. And this is only harming myself. Like, I can't leave the States. All for the bit of like, when passport. I think your bit of what you tweet for my account sometimes.
Yeah, actually, let's do a breakdown of all of the bits.
Okay.
So there is me somehow tweeting from your account, scheduling tweets from your account every time that like I'm in your house without you noticing.
Wait, no. That can't be how you do it. How do you do it?
I just schedule the tweets.
You scheduled like
you
10
leave me
tweets
alone
in
with your
advance?
computer, and then I schedule your tweets, and you never check your scheduled tweets.
Wait, so do you have to like log into my account to schedule them?
No, I use your computer.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you can't.
I literally just like go to your computer and press the tweet button. Twitter for web has a scheduling function. The Twitter app does not. And so I just schedule some tweets, and then I just wait for them to get out.
So you have access to my Twitter?
No, I use your Mac.
Uh-huh.
You go to the bathroom, you leave your computer unlocked, big mistake.
Okay.
And so I just go to twitter.com, write some tweets, and click tweet. That's the entire process.
But like you thought to schedule like 10 tweets in advance.
Yeah, because you never check it. You can actually check your scheduled tweets, but you just like never do.
Oh, because it's from that computer. You're right. I never check my scheduled tweets
Yeah, you
from
can
that
check
computer.
them from any computer. Except from your phone. You have to check them from twitter.com.
Oh my god.
You can check it in your browser. But like that's literally it. And the funny thing is like when I do this to someone else, which I did at some point, I will schedule 10 tweets and then they will tweet once and then they will check the scheduled tweets and then get rid of the rest. You just like don't. You just let them out one by one.
You know, it's funny because I did check my scheduled tweets once, but I checked it from my phone. And so I guess I just like
But like your
assumed-
phone doesn't have, there's no functionality
Yeah.
to schedule. There's no tab there that says scheduled tweets.
Am I just imagining things?
I don't think it does. They never released it. I mean, if you checked it on the website, then yeah. But like that, like scheduled tweets are synced.
Oh, you know what I was thinking? No. I checked drafts, not scheduled tweets.
Oh.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, fuck. I thought it was you. This is my own fault.
What other bits do we have? There's like the passport of you never gain a passport, even though, you know, some would regard that as dumb.
Yes. There's the shrimp.
There is the shrimp, which you can maybe see on the background. There is, I think, how did that happen? I think you just gave me a shrimp, like randomly the first time that I came to your apartment.
Yes. So you were visiting SF, and I think it was the first time we hung out when you were visiting in SF, and you came by the Alchemy office, and it was the same day that I ordered us Wendy's.
Yes.
And I reached out to Anna. I'm like, Anna, what's Miguel's Wendy's order? And she helped me order
I
his
have never
Wendy's.
had Wendy's, by the way, so she like completely made it up.
Really?
I mean, I just thought of what he would like best, and I was right.
So far, I've only in my life, I think, had Wendy's at the Alchemy office. Is that right? Have we had Wendy's at some?
No, we have
Except for one time. Okay, then never mind. There's no Wendy's in London.
Yes, there is.
There is no Wendy's in
There is
London.
Wendy's in London. We went after a show.
There's absolutely no Wendy's
Yes,
in
there
London.
is. Ask Anna. Or literally anybody you know from London.
I will look it up, and if I am wrong, I will put like, I don't know, like a funny hat on myself on the edit or something. I don't know. Now I need to figure out how to do that.
Okay. You can do it in After Effects.
We don't like Adobe. I mean, I personally do not like Adobe software. I should not say after we've talked about how the Adobe people embrace you as their own and all that.
No, you know what it is? It's like, I think we can recognize that we're like friends with the community,
I'm
but it
sure
doesn't
there's very
mean we
good
have
people at
to.
Adobe. I just do not like Adobe, the company, or any of their products.
Well, like, maybe I shouldn't say this, but my version of Photoshop is like a young, aspiring designer was like definitely the cracked version of Photoshop, as I think we all had.
Yeah, personally, I am not a fan of Adobe products.
Yeah.
I used to use Premiere, because that's what I asked some friends, like, hey, what should I, what should I like use for editing? And they were like, use Premiere. Mm-hmm. I don't like it.
Do you use After Effects now?
Or
not After Effects, Final Cut?
I use DaVinci. You can tell by the very nice DaVinci, not the Blackmagic camera that I have over there. Oh, that's it. I think maybe that's a good opportunity to like wrap it up.
Yeah.
Since we have lost I mean, I think we could keep playing without it. I think that would be funny, but like, it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out and doing this. You're gonna be the one video that is completely different from all of the rest.
Ooh.
Because I'm probably going to go back to doing like somewhat scripted, edited videos. And I still don't know what I'm going to do with this, but it will very likely maybe be lightly edited, like cut out parts. But I feel like most of it is just like there's something happening.
Yeah.
So we will see. You can follow Kate at Kate Kasab. You can mail copious amount of corn to Kate at
Whoa!